I remember reading back then, before Ball and Out of Control came out, that you had been one to do or were interested in talking about more like political stuff and different things in your music.
I was paying attention to more business situations, not really political, but having a eye on what's really going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And taking it more seriously than, you know, you growing. I was like 24, 23. Between 23 and 25, it was a change. You know, I moved out of state. I had a serious relationship that I called serious. You know, so I was looking at more of, you know, building a legacy and a longevity through everything I created.
Okay.
As far as making records and everything that went along with that. You know, that was still my business, was to make songs and to put them out and tour and support the records.
And then obviously you were still putting out a lot of material despite what somebody might have been saying.
Well, I was doing soundtracks and stuff, you know, shit like that.
A lot of appearances as well.
Yeah, I didn't do too much touring off the second record, but I still stayed out. By the time I moved back to LA, 96, you know, Quik hit me. He was like, hey man, I'm about to do another album. He was like, all right, I want you in a couple songs. I said, okay, let's do it, you know. And that's when we started working on Rhythm-al-ism. So Rhythm-al-ism, we cut that. A lot of songs on Rhythm-al-ism, had a ball.
It's a phenomenal album.
Yeah, because the energy was good. And you know, we were still young dudes. We were 26 years old. You know what I mean? You talking about Quik was on his third. You know, I just finished my second. And when they did Arista bought Profile, second got on board and they got to put out their second record, Classic 220. So, you know, it was a lot of records going on and we got the vibe back.
Yeah, and for you, since you had been out of town, I guess, the way to put it,
right.
Did you feel reinvigorated when you moved back, or what was going on with you?
No, I enjoyed my time away.
Okay.
You know, I never looked at it like that, and it ain't like I left. I came out here at least every couple months.
Oh, okay.
And stayed, and I didn't run away from anything at all. Mm-hmm. You know, my job and what I do, and my job and my career is not something you run away from. You can take breaks, you can take a hiatus, you take sabbatical, whatever you want to call it, but it's always going to be my job to do what I do. You know, so far as coming back, you know, my guys had outbursts. We had put Domino out. You know, Moke and Steph, they had a gold record, gold single, platinum single. Domino, 1.5 million records on Def Jam. We had stuff moving. It was a lot of records moving, a lot of things going on from 93 to 96, 97. You know, by 98, we was back dealing with Quik and doing the songs on Rhythm-al-ism, you know, and making it rock. We still rocking and rolling to the 2000s.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 2000, I got a distribution deal through Warner and put out Bitch Spend My Money 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also a little bit later you had the Fixers and stuff. So how
2007, yeah.
So how would you say throughout all of this that as an artist, especially since we talked on the production side, like how would you say you evolved or changed as a writer, like lyric-wise?
I don't need, well, I like to follow, I like to understand, you know, where the culture is, and it's not too much shock value. You know, back in the day, we was writing the most wicked, crazy shit because you had to shock people into kind of liking you. Like, I can't believe he said that. You know, that's what we going for, the shock therapy or whatever. But nowadays, you ain't got to do that. You know, I do songs and people swear I'm cussing, and it's like there's no cuss words in it. I didn't say anything really derogatory. You know, it's more like innuendo or whatever, because, you know, I'm a little older. I ain't got to say them type of things anymore because they already heard the worst. They already heard the worst. And I love the ladies.
But I also think, too, that even though some of it was shock value, one thing that I always appreciated it, if you looked at it that way, is that there was like a big element of humor into it, too. It wasn't like...
That's part of my personality, though.
Yeah.
You know, my shit is more comedic based because I study comedy, I study comedians, I study the greats. George Carlin's in the car right now with me when I rode over here. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, you know, all the greats, and tons of comedians. But I have that type of sensibility, and when I write, I'm not writing to prove a point. I'm really writing to entertain myself. You know, that's how I'm self-contained, whether I make the track or whatever, and it's like, what could I write? And just whatever I think of to make the record pop. You know, every song I make don't turn into a record and it don't come out, but I got a whole bunch of shit in the, you know, in the, what they call it? Back up and lock up or whatever. to where you can see. Sometimes I go back and listen to shit and listen to the growth of where I should have did certain things longer and some other things I should have pulled back from. But you know, I think the Fixers record cleared that shit up. Like, can you work with that? That was for the young people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I made that record at 36. Like, I'm about to show these niggas how niggas is still hot in a real way. Like, and do it currently, on time, and we gonna make y'all motherfuckers love it. That's what my point was. So making a record ain't really a hard thing to do. It's time consuming, you know what I mean? And you know, you got to do your homework. But you know, and I would like to, I always like to make something that could last. You know.
Well, you've definitely done that time and time.
I tried.
Time and time again. So what are you working on now that people should?
As far as music, not too much. I'm doing more creative consulting with a lot of young groups I work with.
Okay.
And working on getting my branding company together, you know, and I got a couple other little things up my sleeve, but they're not AMG based or music based. So yeah, I'm trying to stay busy, stay current in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there it is, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through the Unique Access.
Thank you,
AMG
man.
In the building.
Yes, sir. Salute.